Yo, what's going on, guys? Mediumman here, and I want to interrupt this previously scheduled video to give you guys an example of why it's important to read. The good folks at Spiritual Word decided to post this report that there were over 42,000 people diagnosed with STDs in Houston, Texas last week. So instead of researching it, whoever is at their team, they decided to simply post it as if it was true.
The Houston Health Department is setting the record straight about an alarming social media post that is going viral. It claims to show more than 46,000 people tested positive for various STDs in Houston just last week. Stephen Goen is getting some answers about what those numbers really mean. Stephen.
Len, this post is alarming because it's been viewed more than 3 million times, but it actually refers to the number of STD tests across the state, not diagnoses. Tonight, the Houston Health Department is now apologizing for the, quote, distress this may have caused, but they still don't know who exactly put this information out there. It only took 24 hours for this image to gain traction on social media. It claims tens of thousands of people in Houston were diagnosed with chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, or HIV in the past week. But that's not true. In a statement to the KHOU 11 Verify team, the Houston Health Department says this post includes grossly overstated numbers and incorrect information. We're told those numbers actually represent the number of tests done for these STDs across the entire state last week, not just Houston. And there's no indication if the tests were positive or negative. According to the Houston Health Department, a quote, violation of its policies resulted in the data being shared. The department is now conducting an investigation, but a spokesperson would not say if an employee has been identified as the one who published that data.
I knew immediately that a lot of people would read it incorrectly and not understand it.
Jeffrey Campbell with Allies in Hope, a Houston organization focused on ending the spread of HIV, says he was disappointed.
It really bothers me
to see misinformation and stigma about STDs gaining traction online. Now, we will stay on the health department to see if they find the employee responsible for this misinformation and if that person faces any consequences or disciplinary action. The health department says they do want people to remain safe when it comes to sex. At the Houston Health Department, Stephen Goen, KHOU 11 News.
So again, Black people, and I'm saying Black people because Spiritual Word is predominantly a Black social media platform. Y'all got to start reading. And this is why I'm doing this video, because you guys get tricked into believing this stuff without doing your own research. Okay? Do the research and stop going out there believing all this false information. So again, listen to this video and understand why it's important for you to read so this doesn't happen again. All right, peace. So one of the things that I noticed that from the guys that I talked to, successful men, Black men, white men, all of them, they all read. So it doesn't have to be, going straight to grabbing some book or going to Barnes and Noble and trying to read a full paperback book or whatever, something like that. It could be something as simple as how So I put together that little quick video just to show you guys the reading growth and to tell you that, hey, man, it doesn't have to be, you starting off with books, because I know that can be tough. It can start with magazines. And that's how I started. I would read all of those bodybuilding magazines. I mean all of them. And I have a stack of them from years and years and years. Some of them may be collector's items. And I used to just sit there and read those because I was so interested in bodybuilding. And then that moved into me starting to read the travel and leisure books. And let me know if this has happened to you guys who travel. When I was younger, I did the whole chasing the girls thing in the different countries that I would visit. But every time I would come back, I would tell people where I've been, and they would ask me if I've been to this historic place in that particular country. And I would tell them no, because I was out there, partying and having a good time when I was in these places where I should have been visiting these, landmark monuments and things of that nature, where people, when they travel to these countries, that's what they go to see. But when I was younger, I didn't do that. So that's when I started trying, read a little bit more travel and leisure. And the first time that I started to incorporate sightseeing, or actually being a real tourist when I traveled, was when I went to the Philippines. And it was with my homeboy when we were stationed in Korea. It was an easy flight. We went to Cebu. And I made sure that along with the partying and how amazing the city was, we made sure that we went to the Cebu temple. And that was my first time actually going to a historic place while I was traveling. So that's how the progression, actually starts. And of course, that moves towards, reading books, and, audiobook can help as well. But there are a lot of benefits that come with reading. So just don't think that you're, limited to just finding a book, because again, that may be tough. Start with a magazine or something that interests you, and just try and read a little bit daily, because you will see certain benefits. And I'll show you guys here. So 10 benefits of reading: it improves vocabulary, reduces stress levels, improves writing skills, helps mental health, develop empathy, improves memory, boosts knowledge and brain power, improves focus and concentration. And as I stated to you guys before, I was actually diagnosed with convergence insufficiency during my last year in the military, when I was doing my exit physical with the optometrist. That was the first time that I actually had a full eye exam. And there's a difference. You get the checkup, 20/20, whatever. That's when they found out that I had convergence insufficiency. So that's why I had to pick up audiobooks, and also I'd have to take a break from reading because it will make my head hurt. And I will also start to see double vision, which is a sign of convergence insufficiency. So basically, when you guys read a book, if you don't have this, you can sit there and stare at a book, and it'll be just one set of, words and sentences. When I stare at a book without my glasses, it'll immediately go into double vision. So I'd have to kind of take a step back and then go back and read it. And that's why I used to have such a tough time reading books. So what I learned is that I had to speak to the educational books that I needed to learn, and I would record them and I would listen back to it. And I compensated throughout my whole military career like that. And, my optometrist, he was like, man, I don't know how you did it. He's like, because you like damn near a severe case of convergence insufficiency, which would have been, it's something that's actually diagnosed. You can get diagnosed as a kid. So I went through my whole life with this without knowing. So when I did get my glasses, it was like it opened up, utopia for me. And I could read books, open a damn book and just sit there and read and stare at it and just read the whole book without getting a headache or seeing double vision. I thought that I had unlocked the superpower or something like that. So that's my story, man. So that's why I'm such an avid reader till this day, because it feels like a superpower to me. So I want you guys to develop that as well. And I try not to be rude when I call guys out in the chat, where I tell them, to read, hey, look in the description. You got to read it, bro. You got to read it.
Niggas are breaking your house. You want to save your money? Put it in your books. Because niggas don't read.
And, and I'm doing that for a reason, because I know how it benefits. So, yeah. So that's all it is, man. So